Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks for tuning in. I still have the same drink as the other episode I filmed because I'm filming 2 episodes today. It's my iced coffee, straight up iced coffee. I think it's like the Khalifa Farms one. I don't know, it was buy one get one free at Publix. And I put a scoop of my chocolate protein in it and it tastes like a little ice mocha. It's really good because the protein that I have is really yummy. I didn't have any milk, and I wanted a protein shake, so I was like, oh, why don't I just do this? It will be good. And it's actually really good, like highly recommend. And I feel like I have more energy, obviously, because I'm drinking more coffee. The theme of this episode today is friendship drama / friendship advice with updates, of course. So let's get into the first story. The first story is titled, Will I Be the Asshole If I Told My Best Friend's Boyfriend That She Cheated on Him Last Weekend? I'm feeling a bit conflicted because my absolute best friend of 11 years made a pretty big mistake last weekend. We went out downtown for drinks and dancing because her relationship has been a bit rocky lately. They've been together for 8 years and have 2 kids together. Last weekend, she said she was going to break up with him, so she slept with a guy that she met while we were at a bar. In the last week, her and her boyfriend have decided to stay together, and she told me she's taking what she did to the grave. I told her that he really deserves to know. She's been cheated on before, so she knows how much it sucks. I feel like I'm in a weird position because my loyalty is to my friend, but my morals are loyal to anyone. My gut tells me to tell him, but my heart knows that will end our friendship and potentially their relationship. I'm currently planning on calling him tonight to tell him. I want to give her a heads up before I do it so she can decide if she would rather tell him herself. Will I be the asshole? Update. I told him last night. I mean, if that's what your gut is telling you, girl, do it. But like, to be honest, if I'm being so real with you, I don't think I would do that. And that might be bad. But like, if it were my best friend of 11 years, I have a best friend that I've been best friends with since what? We were like 13. So like 12, wait, sorry, what? I'm bad at math. 14 years we've been best friends. 14 or 15 years we've been best friends. I would never. I'd be like, girl, why would you do that? That's so bad. Like, imagine if he did that to you. I'd try to like, snap her out of it and be like, girl, that's so bad. I can't believe you did that. And I would talk to her and give her a little spanking, but I wouldn't tell him. I just feel like nothing in me would want to tell him. I would want him to know. I'd be like, well, I mean, that's terrible. That's awful. But I just know I wouldn't. And that might make me a bad person. Sorry, but I'm just being honest with you. Okay, OP is urged to tell the boyfriend about the cheating. OP said, ugh, the issue with that is I'm the only person that knows besides her and the guys she cheated with you. She literally said, if her boyfriend ever finds out, I'll know it was you. I'm assuming someone said something. I don't know. Someone said, weren't you two in public where anyone could have seen her hitting on guys or vice versa? One of his friends could have been at the bar. How close are you to him? Are you friends? I feel for you as I would have a real problem not telling on one of either of them. I'd stay out of it. OP said, we do refer to each other as family. Like he says, I'm his little sister and I referred to him as a brother. So yes, we are close, but mostly because of my friends. He's always been there for me when I had a crazy ex threaten my safety. So I think that's an aspect. He always looks out for me. So I feel I need to do the same here. Okay. That makes it a little bit harder. If I was like brother, sister relationship, best friend relationship with my best friend's boyfriend, that would be really hard. But I think I would just be like, you need to tell him. Like, you need to. I would force my best friend to tell him and be like, that's ridiculous if you don't. Like, you're honestly, you need to. Like, because you're putting me in such a bad situation. I'm really good friends with him as well. And like, we've formed a really close relationship and I feel awful. So I don't know. I feel like I could make my best friend tell her boyfriend. Okay, this is the full update. I called her on Friday just telling her that I wasn't comfortable carrying this secret for her. My moral compass tells me that her boyfriend deserves to know, and as two women, me and her, who have both been cheated on, I expected her to understand. So I told her she needed to tell him this weekend or I would. I offered to take the kids out to ice cream and a movie so they could have the house and the afternoon to themselves to talk through this. I also let her know that it would sound much better coming from her. The opportunity to work through this would probably be higher because accountability and honesty are important in relationships. She didn't respond too well to this. She told me that it was none of my business and I would just be trying to ruin her relationship. She also let me know that she would never forgive me. I let her know that I wasn't seeking her forgiveness and that it was my business when she chose to cheat on her boyfriend on our girls' night out, and that I wouldn't be the one ruining her relationship. Her actions would be. She was very upset and rejected by my offer to watch her kids, but said that she would have the conversation after she put the kids down to bed. I followed up yesterday morning to see if she had the conversation. She left me on red at 10:53 a.m. I sent another later that evening around 5 p.m. to find out that I had been blocked. So I took that as my answer and FaceTimed her boyfriend. I did have an image from that night of her at the bar with the guy she cheated with. I took it as I was leaving to get in my Uber. She insisted that I leave her alone that night, even though I told her she was making a big mistake. At first, he thought I was making this up, but after he was able to ask some questions and saw the picture, he simply thanked me for letting him know. He let me know he's going to get tested because they have been intimate in the last week since she cheated. I'm unsure where the relationship stands, and I'm pretty confident I won't ever really know, as my best friend has now blocked me on everything. I expected the friendship to end, whether I told him or not, because I don't want to be surrounded by anyone who would betray someone they're supposed to love. I've started receiving a lot of scam calls for insurance quotes and a few FU texts from an unknown number. I assume these are her, which makes sense that she's done that to others in the past that she felt burned her. Well, damn, she's immature. How old is this girl? I feel like as she gets older, she might realize. I always say that. I always give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, oh, they've been together 8 years and have 2 kids together. Sorry, my reading comprehension was failing me. So I wonder how old they are. I always feel like there is a chance that they could end up realizing as they get older, or they could just always think that she's the bad guy and hate her for it. But I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that situation. Of course, she's honestly, the scam calls for insurance quotes is so funny. Like, if someone actually fucked you over and you did that to them, that's a good idea. Okay. OP's on the boyfriend's reaction to the truth and if she has heard from him yet. OP said, I do not, but I may hear from our friend group at some point. He's a pretty level-headed guy. I could tell from his tone that he was more hurt than anything. Maybe a smidge of anger. So tough telling what will happen. I'll report back if I hear. One of our mutual friends called me last night after she spoke to the cheater, so I have an update. They have agreed to split. I guess this had been an issue from early on in their relationship. She cheated about 1 year in, so it was the final straw for them. They will split custody, and she will be moving out in the next 2 months when her finances allow. Wait, sorry, one of our mutual friends called me last night after she spoke to the cheater. The cheater? She cheated it already before? Oh, my Lord, have mercy on my life. I wonder why the OP took a picture. Like, was she planning on, she was like, I'm going to tell him. So she took a picture, probably. Someone said, I have a hard time believing that your motives are as pure as you say. If you knew about her harassing people in the past and were fine staying friends with her. OP said, fair to question. She would always put our friend's ex's numbers into insurance quote or posts on Craigslist with their numbers. It never seemed concerning to me because it's an annoyance, but not threatening in any way. To be honest, I kind of think it's just laughable. I wouldn't be saying that if she was threatening people, but I don't mind an insurance quote, LOL. If you don't think I'm pure, I'm okay with that. I agree with that. I feel like, I mean, come on. You're just putting their number into some insurance quote posts. Okay. If it was like if it was someone that cheated on me and like I did that, I feel like that's kind of sly, honestly.
If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you.
Someone said, I wholeheartedly disagree. By all means, distance yourself from the two of them if you're uncomfortable hanging out with them with that knowledge, but that's her relationship. It's her life, and I really believe you are making this whole situation about you, about your morals, about what you're comfortable with. You honestly don't have a crystal ball, and you can't know what the outcome is best, especially with men you don't know how they'll react to these kinds of things. You could have put her and her kid's life in danger by irresponsibly laying that truth bomb on someone. I grew up in a broken home from cheating, and I've seen great people slip and make mistakes. Sometimes people make promises they can't keep. It's painful, but I'd never dream of inserting myself into that drama. The truth always comes out, and it comes out at the right time. I kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like I don't think I would insert myself into that drama, period, but that is true. You honestly never know what a man will do. It's like pretty scary, and isn't like the leading cause of like women dying or women homicides, femicides, is that what it's called? I forget what it was. I was looking at this like article a couple weeks ago. I was reading it, and it was really scary. The statistics on like femicides and how often women are killed by their partners or family members. It's really scary. Total number of women killed in 2023 by intimate partners or other family members, 51,000 worldwide. On average, 140 women and girls were killed every day in 2023 by someone in their own family. See, that's really scary. This is unwomen.org, by the way. Gender dimension of homicide. While the vast majority of male homicides occur outside the domestic sphere, the home is the most dangerous place for women and girls. Male and female share of homicide victims, 20%. Wait, what does that mean? 20% female, 80% male. Share of male and female homicide victims killed by intimate partners or family members, 11.8% of males are killed by intimate partners or other family members, and 60.2% females are killed by intimate partners or other family members. That's just crazy and so scary. So yeah, I honestly get that argument. That is very scary, and like you really never know what can happen. And someone said classic traits of a cheater: placing blame on everyone but themselves. You were nice and told her to tell. She didn't. Her actions are the reason that she's in her current predicament. Good for you. Someone said, the rule with my friends is no matter how happy I am in a relationship, if you know they are cheating on me, tell me as soon as possible, no matter how much it might hurt me to know. Oh, God. People deserve to know always. It pisses me off she's been cheated on and just does it to someone else. It pisses me off that she cheated before at the beginning of the relationship. She really thought cheating was the solution to most of life after sending the number of people you don't like into scam databases. Yeah, the fact that she cheated, like, cheating once, it's like, okay, still bad, obviously, but it's like, okay, that could have just been a mistake. But she already cheated in the beginning of the relationship, and then she cheated again. Like, that just becomes hard to stick up for. I don't know what the right thing to do in that situation is, but I know that what I would do is not tell. I would definitely have a stern talking to with my friend and be like, that's messed up, but I would, and also, I guess she knows the details of their relationships, but I feel like I've had like friendships before where it's happened, but the details of the relationship, it makes sense. It's like something like they're in a relationship with like a very insane partner, and it's like, I don't know, it was just like a dangerous situation. So it was like hard to get out of, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but you get it. All right, we're going to move on to the next story, and the title is, Am I the asshole for refusing to make amends after my ex-best friend reached out to me? The other night, I got an Instagram message, confused. I thought it might have been a mistake. Turns out it was my ex-best friend from high school, someone I hadn't seen or spoken to in years. She was hoping to meet up and talk about catching up. Hannah. We went to kindergarten together and were friends on and off throughout our school years. Our moms were friends, which made it easier. I thought she was my person, at least until the summer before senior year, and my mom got sick. She got really sick and passed away from it pretty quickly. Entering senior year, I was in a very dark place. Hannah was my rock, her and my other friends at the time. I was starting to feel better about myself, and when prom rolled around, I asked if we could go as friends. It felt right, and things were really starting to feel okay again until she ditched me at prom. I guess her and a couple of our other friends had agreed to have a slumber party without me. I felt so embarrassed. No goodbye, no sorry we left you at the prom by yourself. It was even worse when I had to call my older sister to give me a ride home. I mean, I can still see her disappointment. Even worse, the principal walked me to the car because I had asked him to check if my friends had left prom. When I asked Hannah for an explanation at school, all she could say was she was tired. Quote, "You've become toxic with your sadness. Every day you cry and whine about missing her. I loved your mom too, but you make it so hard to be around you. Honestly, I couldn't breathe after that. How does a kid respond to that?" I ended high school with no friends, and it wasn't made easier that she never told her mom. Graduation day, Hannah's mom gave me flowers and thanked me for being her daughter's friend. I told her the truth about prom and walked away before I began to cry. I left those things behind me, and now she has the audacity almost 10 years later to try to patch things up. I can't. At least I don't think I can. We spent so much of my childhood being together that I just don't know. She looks like she's done well for herself, so maybe she's changed, but I was really hurt and I don't think I'll ever recover from it. This turned into a really long vent post. Sorry. No, I deem that unforgivable, honestly. Like going through something that terrible and that hard as like losing your mom, and then she's just a bitch about it, and all of your other friends too. That's like bullying in my opinion. And I also don't think that you should, if you don't feel like that's right, if you were like struggling with it and it was like a dilemma and you were like, I don't know if I should forgive her or not, I kind of want to like be friends with her again and blah blah, then I would be like, okay, well maybe you should try. But the fact that it's like you don't want to at all and you have nothing in your body or your bones telling you to would be reason enough to just leave it be and like never speak to her again. Also 10 years, like come on. Someone said, not the asshole. She abandoned you when you needed her most and said cruel stuff that stuck with you for years. You don't owe her closure or a reunion. If reconnecting hurts more than it helps, you have every right to keep that door closed. Honestly, she should have just sent an apology, like a long apology, and just been like, leave it at that. Like if you don't have to forgive me, but if you ever feel like you need someone or you want to talk and you'll give me a chance to like make it up to you, then I would love that. But otherwise, like she shouldn't be reaching out. OP said, I think the only reason I would ever want to talk to her again is to see if her mom is okay. Hannah's mom had a stroke roughly a year ago and hasn't gotten much better, so I heard. Oh, that's so sad. Not the asshole doesn't sound like the message was an apology. Unless the message was a complete apology showing self-reflection with no obligation on you to give her closure, don't open the door to your heart. She'll hurt you again. OP said, it was a short hello, a gift from friends of Joey saying, how you doing? And would I be up to meeting up for lunch to talk? You can see now why this surprised me out of nowhere. Ew. What happened to the friend group from high school? Someone said. And OP said, as far as I know, our original friend group broke up after high school because they all felt conflicted regarding everything that happened our senior year. I had some friends that agreed that my grief was valid. However, majority of them agreed with her. What are people like? Like, what do you mean? What are people in grief? Like, why are people so uncomfortable with someone grieving over their literal, like, family member or someone that they love? Like, I don't understand. Why is it so hard to understand? Are you kidding? I would be like, yeah, it makes sense if you're literally like in bed all day long and you can't get out of bed for years. I would understand. I would be like, makes sense. I would also be literally I would crumble into a million pieces. Like, I don't understand. Why is it so hard? I mean, okay, they're in high school, whatever, but like still. In high school, I still understood the meaning of death and like how hard it would be to go through that kind of situation. Like, I never really lost anyone super close to me while I was in high school. I lost like a couple friends, but no one that I was like extremely close with. And I still had a really hard time dealing with that. Like, I still thought that it was like a really hard situation. And I couldn't imagine how their family and their like really close friends were going through that. Because even me, who had just been like hung out with them a few times and like been friendly with them, was feeling the weight of the grief. So I couldn't even imagine like how long it would take me to get over that. I don't understand. Like, it's not even an excuse that you're in high school, because I just feel like that's just human fucking decency. And you're literally a senior in high school. How do you not know that? It's like she lost her mom. Have you ever maybe tried to put yourself in someone else's shoes? Have you ever maybe tried to do that? Okay, there's an update and it's 6 days later. I made a post about a week ago regarding an old best friend, Hannah, trying to make contact with me. We were close growing up in school together, but after losing my mom at 17, we had issues. I was apparently too much to deal with because of my grief, and it was toxic. I would cry too much for anything. The post was removed, but I was hoping to still give an update since people had given feedback on how to approach the situation. Hannah messaged me Friday again, asking if we can meet up at the mall food court on Saturday, since we used to hang out there all the time. I thought I had to go to the mall on the weekend anyways to pick up an order. I might as well hear her out. Of all the hypothetical scenarios that my anxiety and stress had popped into my head, I didn't expect her to actually be there. Worst of all, with Christy, another one of my friends from school that was cold to me after my mom's passing. I hesitated to even approach the table once I saw them together. They were older, which made sense. It's been years since high school and we're all adults. I gave myself a hypothetical 30 minutes, only 30 minutes, and I never have to see their faces again. I approached the table. We sat down and talked. Hannah talked, and she talked a lot. Apparently, our old high school teacher who ran the club that we were all in together wanted to do a reunion with us. She apparently couldn't get in contact with all of us and was curious if Hannah wouldn't mind getting my info. Christy mentioned that I was the only one that she couldn't get in contact with. Quote, "That's it?" I anticipated some kind of catharsis to come, but all I felt was rage. Quote, "What else is there?" Unquote. I broke. I mentioned what happened after my mom. I mentioned how lonely I felt after being ignored and called annoying for grieving. I mentioned how it took me so long to trust again after the people I considered friends just left me. That I would come home to an empty house after school instead of my mom cooking dinner or talking to me. Both Hannah and Christy were quiet while I stood there at the point of tears. I can't even remember standing up. I felt childish crying, but seriously? You send me a message wanting to meet up to talk, to make amends, just to tell me that you're only doing this because a random teacher who we sat in a classroom with for 30 minutes every Friday told you to get in contact with me? I composed myself. I wasn't about to have a mental breakdown in the middle of a damn food court. Quote, "I needed you then, and I don't need this now." And Hannah shut down. I could tell my words had done something to her. Christy just got mad. She reprimanded Hannah and said that there was no point in finding me, and this proved it. Christy chalked up everything that happened in school to kids being kids, that it was the past. Okay. I grabbed my things, lightly excused myself, and left. I cried once I made it back to my car. They have changed, but it's clear that they haven't changed how they felt about how they treated me. Never once did they say sorry. They clearly expected me to just get over it. Again, sorry for the long post, but I hope putting this out there will give me the clarity I need. Thank you for listening. Yeah, they can literally suck a literal big toe. Like, that's so messed up. They're not even going to say anything. Maybe it wasn't a big deal to you because I'm sure their excuse is like, oh, it was 10 years ago. I'm sure she doesn't really even remember or whatever. But it's like, that's a huge thing. That was like a huge turning point in her life with her mother passing away, and you made her feel terribly for grieving the way she did about it. That's just fucked up. Someone said you should reach out to the teacher and tell them what happened back then and now, then let them know that's why you won't attend. OP said the club teacher, Miss Diaz, was actually aware of the situation at the time. I had been telling her and actually had been attending club only for club events, never club activities. She accommodated for me. She was actually really understanding of how I felt at the time, and I would like to get back to her to express my appreciation for her. And then someone said, what was the point of setting up a meeting? That shit could have been in a message. Yeah, if ever a meeting could have been an email, this was it. This doesn't even warrant an email. This is Yahoo Mail territory. People's willingness to forget their own fuck-ups always astound me. That's the kind of shit that would keep me up at night. No, seriously, I would literally be like, I would honestly, if that happened and I hadn't talked to this person in 10 years, I would be like so nervous to ever reach out to her again, because I feel like, I'd be like, oh my God, she probably hates me and like literally wants me dead. I feel like if I reach out to her, she's just going to tell me to like fuck off or like send an evil eye my way, and like I'm scared. Or I don't know, is that what it's called? An evil eye? I mean, the least you could have done is like started the conversation being like, hey, I'm really sorry, you know, talk through it. And that just shows like you literally haven't changed at all. And you're like, what, probably almost 30 years old now, and you haven't changed at all, and you haven't even self-reflected. Like, no. That's like the worst part of it all too, because it's like, maybe if you had done any self-reflection whatsoever, then I would be a little bit interested in like maybe hearing you out, but you're not even trying to say you're sorry. That's crazy. No, also, I've been updating you guys on my friend that's going through a breakup, and we're still talking like every single day, and she's always messaging, like she's always sending me screenshots of messages that her ex, I told you guys, like, he broke up with her, okay? If you guys are familiar with me talking about this, then this is like a little update, but he like wants to get back together already, and it's been like a month and a week since they broke up. And he broke up with her because of like he wanted to get married and have kids, and she wasn't ready yet. And she wasn't ready yet because he didn't give her like what she needed emotionally in the relationship. So she was like, I feel like there's a lot of things that we still need to work on. And so he pretty much broke up with her because of that, because he felt like she was never going to marry her or like have kids or whatever. When it's like, okay, first of all, they've been together for a year and they're my age. It's like, calm down. You don't have to like rush into it. They moved in together after like 3 months, so they already like kind of rushed into that as is. So it's like, give her some time to figure out if she even wants to be with you forever, and instead of trying to baby trap her. But now he's like, real okay, well, first of all, she saw him on Hinge like last week for the first time. And then he messaged her and left her a voicemail like last weekend, and was just like saying how he wants to sit down with her and have a talk, and will she go to like get coffee or brunch with him so that he can say how he feels and all this stuff, and how he really like wants to be with her and like work on things and stuff. And then the literal next day, he goes to a coffee shop with a girl that he met on Hinge, a coffee shop that my friend used to work at. She used to work at that coffee shop while they were together. So he knew that she worked there. And I'm like, did he do that to like, so that your friend that worked at that coffee shop would text you and tell you that he's on a date? Because if so, that's crazy that he thinks that like that's going to make you jealous, when in reality that is just going to push you further away. She's like, that makes me not like, that's an ick. Like, you're going on a date the day after you're saying that you want to like work on yourself for me and you want to like make things better and stuff. And then yeah, it's actually crazy. He like sent her this long message saying how he like only wants her and he just wants to be with her and he'll do anything to make it work. And it's like, she sees that he's not that. This is why I brought that up, because of the self-reflection thing. Like, it's only been a month and like a week. He is like going to therapy and stuff, but I was like, dude, he clearly hasn't self-reflected at all if this is what's happening right now, you know? Like, he is not even, and he hasn't left her alone for like a day. He texts her every day. In the beginning, it was just about like bills and stuff that they needed to figure out, but it was like such like annoying every day, something that he did not need to text her. And then he started texting her about like getting back together and stuff, and calling her about it and stuff. And like, he had threatened her because he like co-signed on her car, and he threatened her like 2 weeks ago, saying that he would take away her car if she didn't like get, I don't even know what it was, some kind of bill figured out or something. He's like, I'll literally take away your car. Okay, you're a co-signer. I don't know if you know the laws, but like, pretty sure if you're a co-signer on a car, it doesn't mean that you can just take the car away from someone. That is not how it works. And so then he was threatening her, being like, I would be nice if I were you. Like, so weird, you know? And I was just so stressed. But I'm like, girl, yeah, he needs to work on himself a lot more. I was like, first of all, you should tell him that you need space without him contacting you every day. Like, you need no contact for a little bit, because you haven't even gotten that from him yet. And he is not respecting your boundaries either. Like, she would try to tell him, no, I'm not ready. Like, I want to work on myself. And he would still be texting her and calling her. And then finally she sent him a long message saying, like, I need to set my boundaries with you. Like, I want to do no contact and I want time to myself. And I think you need time to yourself as well. It hasn't been long enough for you to actually do any growth. And I don't see any growth coming from you. Ugh, sorry. Not me acting like that's my business. I mean, it's not like you guys will ever know who it's about, but it's really like every day of me talking to her about it. So I feel like I'm in the situation. Like, he frustrates me so badly, and I've never even met him. I'm like, I could literally send him a book of what like he does that pisses me off, because why in the hell is he so contradictory? It's like 2 days ago he was threatening you and now he wants you back so badly that he'll do anything. Okay, do anything and don't contact me and go work on yourself, please, for the love of God. Like, they'll do anything but work on themselves for real. Okay, but anyways, we're going to get in the chit chat segment because I wanted to take a little time to chit chat with you guys about things that I just wanted to talk about, that I've been writing down, just like random things that I see that I always think about, I want to talk about with you guys. First off, this weekend I went to a new ranch because I just don't think I resonate with my other ranch. And I kind of thought like, oh, maybe this is just how it is. But like, I don't think my instructors were doing me any favors. Like, there's so many things that they skipped teaching me, like the basics on, and just like completely skipped. And now I'm really realizing after I went to this new ranch over the weekend, because the instructor was actually like, oh, do you know this? And then she said like, diagonal, like across the ring, when you like just literally go in a diagonal line across the ring. And I was like, oh, diagonals, you mean like when you are posting and you do the left shoulder thing or whatever, you like go up whenever the left shoulder's forward or whatever. And she was like, oh, I'm surprised you know that and you don't know this like simple basic thing. Like, I was like, yeah, I told you, like, it's so sporadic the way that the instructors at my other ranch teach me, and I feel like they're just not doing me any favors by doing that. And I feel like I'm never making like full progress, and I didn't really know what to expect before because I'd never been anywhere else, but now I do. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna go to this new ranch. And the horse that I rode, his name was Frankie, and he was literally so sweet. He was way smaller than Sparky, which was kind of weird and hard to like get used to, but he was actually the most docile horse I have ever met. Like, he was so calm and so sweet and so slow and lazy. Like, his trot was the slowest trot I've ever seen in my life, but he was so cute. And yeah, I loved him already. I was like, okay. I love Sparky as well, but I feel like I really want to like get good, and I'm spending so much money doing so. So it's like I should at least be making some progress. Yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. I want my own horse so bad, but I've only done 9 lessons, so I know that I'm not ready for that, but I really, really want my own horse. I just want to be able to like go there and just ride my horse whenever I want. But I know that's not the responsible thing, so I'm not going to do it right now. But anyways, okay. Oh, I wanted to talk about the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, which was crazy that all that happened with him getting fucking canceled or suspended, I guess they said. And then like Trump was being crazy. He's like, yeah, he got he got canceled because of his ratings. They're so bad. Like, he's not funny. He's so bad, blah blah blah. When all we know that it was his fault that he did that. And then thank God everyone like joined together to show that that is fucked up to be canceled. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Really? Also, what Jimmy Kimmel said wasn't even bad. It was crazy that they made that big of a deal out of it. But then obviously Trump is like playing it off as if it wasn't him that like wanted to cancel him. But now he's back on air. Thank God. Yes. Slay, Jimmy Kimmel. Everyone, I'm pretty sure they lost like so much money because everyone was canceling their memberships and stuff, like Disney, which I didn't know Disney and ABC were affiliated. I don't know. Is that stupid of me? Yeah, why didn't I know that Disney and ABC were affiliated? Like, ABC is owned by Disney? I don't know. Fuck. I don't know so many things, and I literally learn something new every day. But thank God yesterday. Oh, yeah. I also wanted to talk about, while we're on the topic of Trump being an actual nuisance, crazy person. Yesterday, I watched the whole fucking press conference of the autism announcement. Him being like, a million times, he's like, so if you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to your baby after they're born. And he said that like 5 times. And I'm like, okay, so what information do you want to say that backs that up? He's like, I truly believe that it's the Tylenol. And I think once I'm out of this office, the rates of autism are going to go way down. And so funny to listen to him talk. Like, genuinely, I'm like, oh, so this is like SNL. It's an SNL skit. Sometimes I literally think it's satire. I'm like, you would be so funny if you just like took the comedian route instead of a president, but then like, you know, did some satire content. But the fact that he's the president is crazy to me. It's like, okay, so tough it out. If you're a pregnant woman with a fever, which could also lead to a miscarriage, if you have a fever when you're pregnant and you don't take Tylenol, or you don't like try to make the fever go away and it gets bad, like you could literally have a miscarriage. And he's saying that pregnant women that take Tylenol just need to tough it out. Tough it out. Okay? So you're going to make them not take Tylenol, and you're going to make them feel badly about it when Tylenol is like the one thing, or which it was funny because he didn't know how to pronounce this, which I keep forgetting how to pronounce it now. Acetaminophen. I keep forgetting how to pronounce it. I'm like, I think I was saying acetapetam. What was I saying? Acetapetamine. I don't know. I was saying a something, but yeah, it was funny because he didn't know how to pronounce that. Which, like, okay, I'm not the president of the United States making a press conference about autism and how Tylenol makes people autistic. So also, I just can't believe that. And there's literally like no credible studies that support these claims. And listening to RFK was so hard. I couldn't even listen to what he was saying because his voice was bothering me so much. He bothers me so much. And who is he to tell anyone? Like, he literally blended up, allegedly. I don't know if this is actually factual, but allegedly I listened to his cousin on TikTok say that he blended up animals in a blender and drank it. Like, he made people come over to his house, allegedly, to blend up like little rats and bunnies and things in a blender and drink it like that. So, and honestly, I believe it. But yeah, so that's another crazy thing. I will be taking Tylenol when I'm pregnant if I have a fever. So I'm going to listen to the doctors and not DJT. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the David stuff. David and Celeste, the missing girl that was found in the back of David's Tesla because it had gotten towed. And this guy, first of all, he's a pedo. So if that's not one reason to hate him already, you hate him. I hate him for that alone. And then secondly, he's weird because I've been watching all of his music videos and listening to his music lately, just like for research purposes. If it comes on it came on in the car, like leisurely, and I was like, oh no, I'm not listening to this. It was giving me the heebie-jeebies listening to his music, but all of his lyrics are so scary. Apparently, he released like a music video on her birthday, like in 2022. And the music video was the Romantic Homicide music video. Which Romantic Homicide, that movie, or that, the lyrics to that is already so scary if you read it. And then there's another music video that is really, really creepy. Apparently, he has an alter ego. I forget what the name of the alter ego is. But there's this whole like aspect of like the alter ego liking like chopping people up and stuff like that. And apparently that's how Celeste was found, which is so awful. Like, she was talking to him, I think when she was 13 years old. 13. And she's still, I think, 16. now, or she would be 16, and he's 20. So, yeah, if that doesn't just show you already, like, why in the heliante was this guy literally dating a 13, 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, like 13 to 16-year-old? That's insane. And then I feel so terrible. It's so sad. She had been missing for like a while apparently, and his car was parked somewhere, and apparently someone had called a towing company or called the cops or something. I can't really remember that exact story, but also this guy was like a streamer as well, which is crazy. I don't know. He apparently was like super normal, and everyone thought, and I've been seeing interviews of him, and he seemed like a very normal person. But also this is all alleged because I don't know. He hasn't been arrested for the crime, I don't believe, at this time. But yeah, apparently his Tesla was towed because someone called because there was like a weird smell coming from it. And then obviously they found out that it was her decomposing body, which ended up not even being recognizable. And I think the mom recognized a tattoo she had on her finger, and that's how they identified the body, which is just literally rest in peace to that beautiful girl. Like, that is so awful. And allegedly, I hope this person goes to jail because allegedly that's terrible. But I don't want to get sued. Like, really don't want to get sued. I don't think he's ever going to see this, but just in case. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was Rapture Talk. Guys, Rapture TikTok. If you guys are on Rapture Talk right now, it's actually insanely funny. And people are preparing for the rapture. Apparently it's supposed to be today. So if I start floating in the middle of this episode, or at the end of this episode, I guess, I do apologize. I'm just being taken by Jesus Christ himself up to, his humble abode. So I'm gonna apologize before that happens. I'm dying at all the TikToks being made, like, so serious, like it's not satire. Like, someone literally was like, okay, rapture trip tip 1. So when you start floating in the air, just don't hold on to anything, just look up, and like all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is happening? Like, genuinely, you're a real person. You're a real person, and you're genuinely, like, you are scaring me. The amount of people that genuinely believe this is happening too. I've seen so many TikToks about it. This girl legit is like preparing her entire house for like friends and family that are going to be left behind. Like, she bought a bunch of like survival stuff for the people that are going to be left behind, so that they're able to like these drinking water straws that you can like drink out of the bathtub. She's going to fill her bathtub up with water so that the people can like drink through these straws that like filter the water within the bathtub, because like she's going to be taken, but apparently like all of her friends and family aren't going to be taken. So she set everything up, laminated a bunch of notes and stuff, labeled all of this stuff in her house for the people that are going to be left behind, which is like crazy because you're kind of setting yourself up for like a robbery or like a Burger King moment. Burglary. I can never say that word, burglary. So yeah, so actually crazy to see. Honestly, it's like one of the best things to happen to me this year is just like seeing all these people on TikTok talking about this. It's like, honestly, that's also crazy because probably like if this was when I was in college and like brainwashed by my Christian college, I would probably be believing all of this, and I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe the rapture. No, I don't think I actually was ever that naive. Like, I don't think I ever was like actually believing that. I think I would be like, wait, is it really gonna happen? But I wouldn't be like crying and being like, oh my God, I can't believe the rapture is gonna come. Sorry, it's just actually crazy. I posted on my Patreon the other day, and I was like, I just gotta make sure that my coochie's shaved, because apparently you go up naked. Apparently your clothes stay on earth and you go up naked. I was like, I don't think Jesus is gonna let me in with a bush, so I really gotta like make sure I'm shaven. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Those are the topics I wanted to talk about, but that's just that was like a whirlwind. Obviously, were talking about some serious stuff and then the rapture stuff. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Please let me know your thoughts on any of the topics we talked about or any of the stories. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
Storytime Society is now available on all listening platforms. If you are on any of those listening platforms, I would really appreciate it if you rated me 5 stars. Thanks for all the support.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.